Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode 24. It is called Conspiracy. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. This one is probably the most serious episode we've had, and I think the first thing we have to say is to commend it for actually following up on something that was teased like several episodes ago.
I was shocked when I realised it had some continuity. Like, genuinely, yeah, in a good way, but
Yeah.
shocked.
No, continuity. There was continuity there.
Because the show has not been, exactly strict on remembering these things. It hasn't been flippant in pretending things didn't happen. It just doesn't remind us that anything did happen either.
I'm actually just double checking something. Hold on, let me
Was it something interesting?
Yeah, it was. Okay, right. So it's obviously the Admiral that gave him gave Picard the warning several episodes ago is back, right? And I recognised him, but I recognised another guy in this, the younger officer who was turned out to have the main alien thing in him. Yeah. I was like, I'm sure he was in an episode before. He was in the coming of age episode, and if I remember correctly, he was the one that was investigating the ship and like seeing if it was up to par. And it ended with him saying, "Oh, it's so up to par that I would like to, serve on the Enterprise later on."
Yeah, that was the same episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the same episode. Yeah, because it was the Admiral who made this wanted this check.
But this character whose name obviously I don't know was
Remick.
Yeah, he made reference to having met him recently as well.
Yeah, no, I was checking that. So yeah, there's some continuity there, which is nice. So yeah, the episode Picard gets a call from this other captain, from a ship called the Horatio. Yep, and
it's obviously a captain he knows fairly well.
Yeah. And it's code 47 for captain's eyes only, and it's this private conversation. And he's like, "No, I need you to come to this planet and have a conversation with me. I can't talk to you about this over the comms." And Picard's like, "That's a secure chat," because he's just been woken up out of bed. He's upset.
He's a grumpy old man.
Yeah. And he's like, no, we need to go here. He's like, okay, fine. So he goes out and gives the orders. Although, before we actually get to this, I shouldn't gloss over the opening scene, which features two fantastic little moments. One is, I don't even remember what the joke is, because it's just a really long, drawn-out joke. We don't even hear the start of it. But Geordi tells a joke, and Data over-explains it to himself so he understands it, and then lets out a laugh. And the laugh
is the best laugh ever. And it just stops so suddenly.
Very notable. And then the other one is, I actually noted this down. Hold on, where's my...
Oh God, you're doing notes on Trek now.
Not many. I just wanted to note down this one quote. Yeah, because they're going to this planet for some recreation, and Troy's talking about going swimming under the moonlight and all that. And someone says, the holodeck can could just
Data. I think it is like, hey, they can simulate water.
Yeah, it's not the same Data. And one of them says to Worf, "Oh, are you excited? Do you like swimming?" Worf, and he says, "No, too much like bathing." Just wanted to point out that line.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Picard, he directs the ship. He tells everyone not to report any of this to Starfleet, not to log anything. Everything's off the book, to go to this other planet. And everyone's kind of concerned, but it's like, okay, captain's orders. And he goes and beams down, and he meets with this captain who's there with two other captains, one of whom I believe is played by Michael Berryman. I'm just double. Yeah, he is. From Hell's Have Eyes. I recognize him. He's the alien dude with the makeup.
Well, I figured it was. Yeah.
But I recognized him. I recognized his face through it. And it's basically, there's something happening where some people in Starfleet don't feel it themselves. They don't seem to know their memories. They're very vaguely sort of, passing.
Is this the bit where you figured what this episode was? Because this is where I went, oh, okay, I think I see where this is going.
All right, absolutely. As soon as they started saying this, my mind immediately went to Bad Eggs, which is an episode of the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where these like parasite things are coming out of the eggs and taking them over. Kind of like a movie called Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but that's neither here nor there.
Look, I will let you off with a lot of shit when it comes to Buffy, but not when it comes to bad eggs.
Well, look, it's fine. I'm cracking that joke because I was subverting your expectations. But as the episode went on, when you eventually see one of these purple alien things that are the actual parasites, it did make me think more of bad eggs than body snatchers.
Visually, sure.
Visually, yeah. And you know, because in concept, I mean, in concept it's the same thing, but visually it reminded me more of bad eggs because the parasite was a bit more like the facehuggery things that were in that episode.
But this is better than bad eggs.
Oh yeah, it is. It's much better
by
than
quite
bad
a
eggs.
considerable margin.
It's much better to the point when it reminded me of bad eggs. I started laughing and goes, "This should be much worse. Why is this not terrible?"
Yeah, like, I think the design of the creature. Well, if we're talking about that now, the design of the creatures was a bit, okay, and you know, the effects were a little bit ropey. It stood out next to everything else, but you know, I can forgive that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because what the episode really focuses on more than anything is the idea of the conspiracy itself. The fact that people are being taken over is almost a fairly late point in the episode. Up until that, it's just like, who can Picard trust? Because the Horatio, the ship that the other captain's on, gets blown up, and it's like sabotage. That's what Picard thinks it is. And everyone thinks Picard's acting a little bit strange. He eventually tells Riker what he's been told and what he's aware of.
And he gets data to search for some dodgy patterns.
Yeah, because that's basically the main evidence they've got, is that people are being moved around. It's like someone's reorganizing like Starfleet to take it over. The way Data puts it is that the left hand of Starfleet doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and you know, someone from inside is doing all this malarkey. Actually, I want to talk about the scene where he beams down to speak to the captains a little bit more, actually, because I really appreciated the opening, the way this scene opened, because Picard actually beams down in the distance. We never cut to a close up of Picard. There's this sort of big ramp thing, and he's up at the end of it, and there's a sort of cave in the foreground that we're seeing through an opening, and he just, like, you know, he walks down as some of the, you know, the credits are still playing at the bottom, and I just really liked this shot because it was like, I feel like we almost always see them beam in the exact same shot size.
Yeah, and it's the close up on the face 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, or no, I'd say that for the most part it's more of a group shot where you see, like, it's a wide shot.
If there
of
is
all
a group of them, I'm saying if it's just one of them, it tends to be the face.
But this was like, no, he's miles away, and it never cut up close to him. It let him walk all the way up into frame, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because it felt like a long walk. It felt like, okay, what's actually waiting in here for him? It added some suspense to it. But yeah, so it's like, okay, so we think something's up, and you know, they're debating this, but ultimately we have to go and talk to Earth. We have to go back to the source and talk to, you know, the Admirals and find out what's going on. And the Admiral from before's there, as is what did I say his name was?
Remick.
Remick, yeah. And there's other Admirals there as well. Like, oh, we're delighted to have you here back at Earth, but you know, this is a bit off schedule. Why are you here?
Because there was another Admiral as well who's like, hey, I can't make dinner, but I'll come up and see you on the ship.
Yeah, well, that's the one from before. That's the one from the previous episode. Because I want to tell you about this in person. So like, okay, you can have dinner with us, and we get, because that's actually because the Admiral Quinn, who goes up to the ship, who was in the previous episode. He comes up with a case, and he's got the alien parasite in it.
With the most overt sinister music for the case.
Oh yes.
Might be my least favorite thing about this episode.
The sinister. I like the sinister music early on, though. See, when Picard's meeting the captains, I like the kind of the mood that I was giving it.
No, I like the music in general. I hated it being played on, you know, him looking in the case before he beams up.
Oh sure.
I feel like it kind of overly. Look, don't get me wrong. It wasn't a huge twist anyway. It wasn't a huge surprise. But I think it could have been played better.
I mean, you just see the bug in it, so I think it reveals anyway visually that.
Right, that's what I mean. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that up there. I just want, you know, him going up and have it. You know, when Picard's like, "Hey, something's not right." I just don't like that whole bit before.
Yeah, but it's not really Picard, of course. It's Riker and co who have to deal with him, and there's a great fight scene. Where he's basically like, hey, do you want to see the thing in the case? It's a species, and he pulls out the alien, and it becomes clear, you know, to Riker what's going on, and the old Admiral does like some kicks and punches, and obviously it like cuts to behind, so it's obviously a stunt double. It's not him that's doing it, but
it's some extreme kicking going on.
He does. I'm not even sure what you call it, like a bicycle kick, where he sort of lifts his leg all the way up, and there's like a sort of semicircle
Yeah, I don't know. No, bicycle kick is like a because you kind of fall backwards and kick up, don't you?
That's a bicycle kick, okay.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not like a spin kick. It's more of a sort of lift your leg up really high and sort of slam it down in a sort of semicircle, right?
Yeah.
And it's the sort of thing that no old man can do. no, this is a very athletic individual pulling this off.
It is. And then, Reiko gets a few kicks in the face of his own.
Reiko does the same thing. Reiko does the exact same type of kick, as well as some punches. So it becomes this brawl between this like 75-year-old Admiral and Reiko in his prime, and it's just this thing. It's actually eventually Crusher. Dr. Crusher is eventually the one who shows up and
I thought Worf got taken out a bit easily.
Oh, that's the other thing, yeah, because Worf comes in and he says something about Klingons, and Worf's like, ugh.
Yeah, I think Worf didn't need to win. That's fine if you want to show me. Okay, no, the Admiral's strong. I get that, but it felt like Worf did worse than Riker did, and that didn't feel like it's the way it should have gone down, at least to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange, but I mean, ultimately, Crusher saves the day and blasts him. And then when he tries to run, like both Riker and I mean, obviously they're just on stun; they're not killing him or anything. But like at one point, like two of them blast him at the same time, and I'm like, I obviously didn't know the score, but I love the idea that anyone who walks into this part of the ship just sees like
looks like they're attacking an admiral.
Yeah, two officers just like attacking an admiral. It's just really funny to me. Anyway, Crusher starts doing some tests and realizes that there's a parasite in him. You can sort of see in the neck. And Picard is hearing about some of this. He's downstate, he's down in the planet. He's brought to dinner, and it turns out all the admirals here are all taken over. And
it's very clear quite quickly.
They eat worms.
Maggots.
That's a bit big for maggots to my eyes.
No, they were just big maggots.
Okay, the big maggots.
They were white. Well, they were definitely maggots, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, either way, disgusting, and it made me want to vomit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. It didn't bother me that much, but
I don't know, touching them and then the visual of people putting them in their mouth, like, oh.
Touching them doesn't bother me.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, you used to go fishing. You have to, you stick a maggot on the hook.
What is that? Why I've never been fishing?
That's not that bad. You get used to it.
Oh, I don't want to get used to it. I'll fish with dynamite.
Yeah, I bet you will.
Fish with dynamite.
No salty.
Oh, wake up Nessie, but that's all right. So obviously Picard realizes he's in a pickle, and Riker shows up and he's all happy, right? And then he's like, no, Riker's been taken over. And I kind of called the swerve. I called the bluff here, where he's like, no, he's just faking. And we find out later that Crusher even put in the thing in the neck
because they do check.
They do check, yeah. And Riker's like all ready to just eat his maggots, and then he kind of flips them up and starts attacking, and so him and Picard take them out. And I want to commend a visual, because they get to Remick, who turns out he has the Queen inside him, and because they take care of the Queen, it deals with everything. Everyone gets, the parasites all leave.
Sure,
and
why not?
Yeah, easy enough. But what's great about this scene is I actually thought the visual effects on his death were really good, because
I agree.
The head explodes when they shoot his head, and then they shoot his stomach, and it kind of almost just sort of corrodes, and then this alien thing comes out, and it's just, it was really good.
No, I like that, because I didn't like the little purple things.
Yeah.
But the dying Queen, I thought looked kind of great.
Yeah, I was into this. I thought it looked good. Probably some of the best effects. I mean, obviously the ship and that looks good, but just in terms of the alien stuff, it's probably the most impressive effects we've seen.
Yeah, it's solid prosthetic puppeteering.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And then the head exploding really caught me off guard. I'm like, whoa, head explosion! What's happening?
Yeah, I'm always down for a good head explosion.
Yeah, all right, yeah, I'm always into it. And I think what actually again impresses me is even the end of the episode is very somber, because there's
no banter,
not even a happy ending, because Data or Geordi points out that Oh, like before they died, there was like a beacon set, like a homing beacon, almost as if to say they're alerting other of its kind to the planet.
Yeah, they point out like there's clearly more from beyond wherever we know, our range of space.
Mm.
But they've sent out this signal in that direction, and it's like a homing beacon to Earth. And then it ends. You pull out to space, and the ship flies off, and you just hear it.
Yeah, but it's all these like somber looks. Picard and Reiko are looking at each other like, "Oh, this is bad."
Yeah, I don't know if we ever do come back to this.
Yeah, I don't know,
but I kind of hope so.
I think it's fascinating to me that they actually seeded this episode like several ago.
Yeah, they seeded this, and then before that, I would have said, "Oh, there's no chance they ever follow up on this at the end."
Mm.
After this, I mean, it's unlikely still, but it's not impossible.
They're willing to do it. This episode's shown that they're willing to do it. So
yeah.
I think if there's a clear setup for a future episode, it's probably something we're actually going to get. Maybe not every time, because even episodes that always follow up sometimes don't, because they just decide they don't want to do something. But
yeah, it doesn't even have to be something that's followed up in this show. Admittedly, like it could be something that now that's something for a different show to play with.
Yeah. And there's a debate with Picard and Troy at one point about him going off book. You shouldn't do this. This you're breaking all these rules, and Picard's like,
screw the rules.
But yeah, it's friendship. Like, how do you always manage to like simplify things down that misses the point of the scene?
It's not missing the point. I'm just having some fun with it.
Because the point he makes is that if you never actually are willing to break the rules or bend like what you do, then it's not friendship. Like, that's kind of his point.
That's what I said.
That's not what you said. Missing all the nuance.
Honestly, at this point, I'm doing it just to wind you up.
Yeah. But no, I like. Is this the strongest episode of the season? I think there's potential for it to be.
I mean, it's definitely top 3, isn't it? At the very least.
Yes.
It might be. I mean, we'll find out soon.
Yeah, because after the next episode, we'll be doing our top 5. I think what this one has that a lot of the other episodes don't is a foreboding atmosphere. Like, as soon as Picard goes down there and has this meeting, there's this sort of tension throughout the rest of the episode. If I have any complaints, it's almost just that, hey, they could have done this could have been a whole season of like slowly realizing certain people have been replaced and like have it building up slowly.
Oh, it could have been, but I appreciate that it was at least 2 episodes and they weren't back to back. This was going on. Yeah,
because they say they've been doing this for months. They've been taking over for months, and if you look at where that last episode aired, it was probably at least a couple of months in terms of air dates.
So it was going on, and I do appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm impressed with that. Mainly just because Star Trek, up until this point, has not really done that.
No, this is the first time it has. I think.
Yeah. So no, that's good. That's good. I mean, there is one clunky bit of dialogue where, the Admiral's like, when I warned you about this, he really sort of like makes it very clear.
Hey, remember that episode?
Yeah, it's very, very clear when he says that.
Yeah.
But like I said, no, it's the atmosphere, it's the foreboding tension, and just the feeling that something's not quite right, and Picard's uncomfortable by everything he's having to do. He's uncomfortable with the idea of everything that's going on, and you feel that throughout the episode, and and then it gets to the actual, like, okay, it's like invasion of the body snatchers, they're being taken over, and then you have like, okay, this Admiral's on board and he's going to try and take over someone. Is it Reiko or is it someone else? And at least it's a fun fight scene. At least that great scene where we kill the alien queen.
Yeah.
But no, like I always felt like it had a really good driving force behind everything it was doing. I always felt like it had a driving idea, and the mood was built around that idea. Whereas I feel like some of the episodes we've had this season, or even a lot of the episodes we've had this season, they've got this whatever idea they're doing, and it's fine. But it always kind of feels the same in terms of the mood.
I think it helps that they were doing we're doing body snatchers. We know how body snatchers is supposed to feel. We know, okay, we're supposed to feel paranoia.
Oh sure, I guess what I mean is that sometimes it doesn't really feel like the stakes are actually felt in the characters, where it feels like they're still just treating it like it's a straightforward mission.
I'm with you.
And this didn't feel like that. It felt like Picard was disturbed by what was going on. So I like that. And yeah, I'm not saying there's been none of that all season, but this felt the strongest in terms of that for sure.
Yeah.
So
I think it's notable that the theme episodes have felt really strong in terms of having that feeling, like the noir one that we had. Like, you know, again, where it's like, okay, we know what this is supposed to be, and we're gonna just commit to that. Is when it's felt the strongest in terms of that stuff.
Yeah. So that's Conspiracy, which I'll tell you about when the next episode.
Yeah. What are we ending the season on?
That's a good question. What are we ending the season on? So yeah, the final episode of the season will be next week, and it is an episode called The Neutral Zone.
Okay.
That's episode 25.
I'm interested.
The description here on IMDb is, while assigned to investigate missing outposts in the neutral zone, the Enterprise revives 3 cryogenically frozen people found aboard a wayward derelict Earth vessel.
God, do people never learn?
This sounds a lot like Space Seed.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm sure the characters that wake up will be very different, but it sounds a lot like Space Seed. Sorry. Space Feed. Could just space feed myself. But this is the next step, so this is the finale of the season. That'll be next time. So let us know what you thought of Conspiracy in the comments. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Rate us on your podcast app of choice. Give us 5 stars and a review. It helps us out a lot. It spreads out the show to more people. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV if you want to support the channel and the show and everything we do here for as little as $1 per month. And you get these Star Trek reviews a week early. You get early stuff for other shows, and you also get bonuses for other shows as well. So go and have a look-see. And then as for promoting other content, other classic sci-fi shows that are being done right now are The Twilight Zone and Babylon 5, so you may be interested in those. So go check out those too. But otherwise, that is. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching Star Trek, guys. And to everyone but Connor, live long and prosper.